people. So we just started setting up the shop, which opens tomorrow. We went to vegan nights. Ben and Ella's been working hard for a while now on this thing, and I've come in and put in my full energy now. I've finished my fast. But in between all that, synchronistically, the crazy timing is London Real hit me up. I've been waiting for a while for them to hit me up again. It's been a few years since I last been on that. I've been working hard on myself since the last one. They hit me up to go back on London Real at 5 PM, which is the time vegan night starts on the Thursday, and it's sort of synchronistically the end of my fast, the end of my post-fast. Vegan nights pop up, then we go into rebuilding kind of thing. So anyway, we're off to London Real now to start the weekend off. We go that, then we come straight into vegan nights, and it goes from there. So join us. We're gonna go see Brian Rose right now. He's been vegan for a minute. Did you tell him to reach out to me then, or was it like he wanted to? Or?
Yeah, no, it felt like at the right time.
The right time.
Especially after the Alaska and stuff, it was like,
yeah.
It feels like the right time to talk to him.
Yeah.
Especially after everything you've been doing and stuff.
What I've been doing, and him going plant-based and everything.
Exactly.
It's like, I must have been the first vegan on this show, right? And then
definitely. And then it's just like
10 since then, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had James Aspie, and then we had
Dr. Gregor,
John Joseph,
exactly.
Lion Mind.
James,
So yeah, I think it was just like
just name a few.
Slowly got it drilled into his head.
Okay, finally.
Yeah.
Tim was on it 5 years ago. Now I get it. What's next?
Yeah, I'm integrating.
Yeah, do I get to hear your stories?
I'm dropping on you.
Yeah.
I really talked about it.
Wicked, okay, cool.
Yeah, be cool, man. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where are you based these days?
Back in Derby.
Derby. Oh, really?
Yeah, where I grew up.
Okay.
Just a little reset, focus on some things, see where I want to go from, step back. And this office is looking great. Well done, team, yeah.
Alright, so we look like
Tim,
yeah, Tim.
Hey Dave.
Bang.
Tim Bang, this cameraman here. Summer, you okay?
So Louis.
Tim, see you, man.
But yeah, we put like the hanging bar in and
Oh, we got
flavor. It gets used a lot. Funny enough,
It's a good thickness as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm wearing it kind of small. Just to fit my script.
Yeah.
So, I was watching some of your stuff. You do that. You hold the ball in your hand.
Yeah, you
can toss it up.
Yeah, little games. Edo style games.
That's nice.
Yeah, nice.
Brian, you're great.
Nice. Yeah, and then these guys put this in little pots and stuff. I mean, probably need more here. We've got like a train.
You just get started, but that's it. You can get have you ever done like hanging boots?
Oh, no.
Gravity boots. Good little just hang out for a few minutes, do a couple sets of that, and you just get blood flow, spine stretch, everything.
Yeah. We move every morning after our stand-up meetings.
Do you? Yeah.
We play music here and like everybody knows.
You're creating a whole new system of how business should be run, right?
Like we're trying to incorporate some of these lessons. So.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, and nobody believes that this is my own urine.
Hey, sorry.
Nobody believes that's my own urine, is there?
Is it actually?
It is.
I'm really confronted by it.
Yeah, most people are.
It's just like, I suppose I didn't ever think I'd see my boss's urine sitting on his desk.
It's joined on the real.
It's really normal to me. No.
Yeah, that's not too bad. You're pretty hydrated.
Yeah, right?
Get coffee today?
No, I had some tea.
Yeah,
but I was pretty clear.
Yeah, it's fruit. No.
So, you gonna walk me through this on air and stuff?
Sure.
Okay, I think I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah. I don't know if he was joking, man, but I got my own vessel that I use. It was in my flask.
Oh, really? So you already have your own urine in there?
It's I'll get it out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will be drinking with me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't let you do it on your own.
Okay, cool.
I've already done it today anyway, so it's...
Really?
Yeah.
Every day?
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember Lyoto Machida from the UFC doing it
Yeah.
with his dad back in the day.
Yeah, and Ariel used to find it so funny. Ariel Hawani was asking him about it.
Oh, really?
Do you know Ariel Hawani?
Ariel. Oh, yeah, Hawani, of
reporter
course.
guy,
Yeah.
He's amazing. But yeah, I've watched the old interviews. it's so funny to see them talk so casually, joke about it. You know?
Yeah, and that was like 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's not really got anywhere.
No, I don't know many of the fighters that did that.
Yeah, we can.
It's good to hear you talk about it. I guess I'd be curious.
Well, you know what? A lot of people have asked me. I've never done like anything specifically. There's bits of me talking about it, but I've not really like gone into it. And so we could, do a good 5-10 minutes, like just my theories on it and everything,
Let's do that.
the history of my research. And, get that. Well, we get some good nuggets here. Right?
Yeah, I remember when I first heard about it, I thought it was weird. And then when I learned about it, I thought it wasn't. And then I remember
that's fine.
Bear Grylls one time when he was in the desert, he like evaporated his own urine, but he didn't actually drink it. He just evaporated it.
There's like a meme of like Bear Grylls that was like, better drink my own piss. Like any excuse like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He does do it.
I don't know if he actually did it. I think it just came from that kind of episode. I'm sure he's like, he would talk about survival reasons to do it. But the mainstream theory on it is so different from like the ancient theory and my theory.
Okay.
It's very, yeah.
Do you have like urine parties where people get together and cheers?
Well, that's
like
like,
chin chin.
that happens as part of like mushroom ceremonies. We're like try each other's. Not like in that. It sounds super weird. When you're on mushrooms, it's completely normal. And when you're really good friends, when you're really good friends, and it's like, and you know each other respects your own bodies, then you know there's nothing in urine that you've not already put in your body, right?
Yeah.
So it's like whatever you're eating and whatever you're consuming, it's nothing new. People will drink Pepsi out and say. I don't need one, but I can just pop to the side on there. I don't actually need it right now.
Oh, so you do it like do it in real time.
Fresher the better, right?
You really have
You should have done it.
I could do it.
You're both
I was
just
about to go to the bathroom right now.
It tastes better fresh. It's worse when it gets cold, which is the opposite of what you think. Everyone's like, let it cool down. It just gets more stale and like nastier. But then it's better. Like aged urine is a whole other alchemy that I've not even like got to explore yet.
So that's been at room temp for like 2 hours. Should I get some fresh stuff?
I think the fresh is better. Yeah.
So we both go off camera and just do that?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that should be done.
This is the clip that's going to go viral.
Just in water.
Yeah.
Just help you get it out.
Don't
put it up, say.
Do that?
Don't.
No. Straight up, no?
You define it out.
Confused for another half later.
Definitely urine. Yeah?
That's urine, alright.
Warm stuff. Give me 1 sec.
Keep that glass.
Top man Brian, man, that's wicked.
It's good that he's implementing stuff.
It's really impressed me, man. He's stepping up. It's like, he's going through
Emotions.
vegans, endurance sports. No, he's really in a whole other realm.
Be something else next.
Pu'er tea, I'm a big fan. Yeah. It's like strong Chinese fermented tea.
Cool. And it's not got bags as well.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
take
just straight
one,
up.
man.
Yeah, we can just give it away.
No book always goes down well. I like to keep things manual. Yeah,
Yeah,
once you go,
it's key, right?
yeah, I can't just
Won't go back.
Yeah.
Pens.
Cool, man. Don't want to swear. Okay, man. Thank you so much. Initially, I'm on a healing journey. I think we're all, you're doing ayahuasca and all these other things. We're on a healing journey. Motion, mobility, all of the things we're searching for is to feel better. So on the healing journey, I'd done a lot of different things, a lot of practices along the way, these nuances that all made me feel better in increments. Some were placebo maybe, and some others add a little more to your life. That in the beginning you feel amazing and then they sort of taper, but you generally feel better than the last before you did that thing. It's the last thing I want to do.
What was your relationship with food like before
that? Plant-based, but honestly, and I've been vegan for 6 years, I think a lot of vegans can have emotional eating, have more emotional eating disorders sort of once you go vegan, because you're more attached to what you're eating as like, this is helping the world.
Right.
So you're eating plant-based thinking it's good for my body, I'm helping the world, but you're still consuming, it's not, and realizing that veganism isn't the end. When you first go vegan, none more self-righteous than the recently converted, right? You're preaching it. I know you've been very respectful with it and you've learned well, but I was one of them preaching about it for a bit, and then I learned and I softened my approach to spreading it, and realised that it isn't the end of the road. It doesn't solve everything. It doesn't solve the Earth's issues. It's still, you've got to do the plastic free and all these other things, and it doesn't solve your body's issues completely. So one of the things I identified in my body was candida, which is like a gut bacteria imbalance that we can have from having antibiotics when we're young. Anything we do that's sort of against nature's laws causes imbalances in the body, and the price we have to pay to solve it is a little more. So one of the things I came up was, for candida, you've got to do 21-day fasting minimum. Some people go to 25 to be safe. And so I set off, I was like, right, for this year, I've just started my I didn't start fasting ever till this year. I did 48 hours in March. I did it 3 times over like the next few months. And I was like, right, that was tough.
How was that?
Crazy tough. One of the toughest things I've ever done.
Why?
Well, the first 2 or 3 days of fasting is the hardest of any fast, because your body, what we think of as hunger, and there's a big difference between hunger and starvation. And in all my research, I learned so much about this. The first 2 or 3 days are all your old habits, all things coming up. Like if you have a daily pattern, your body wants that daily, right? You start feeling tired at the same time every day. You start feeling hungry at the same time every day. So it takes about 3 days to break that. You know, kind of like with jet lag, it takes days to get over your thing. So, and that hunger isn't true hunger. That's your body's habits and your normal fuel. That phase after 3 days. My intention was to do 7 for the year, then I'm good. Maybe next year I'll revisit it. I got to 7 days. I was in Tenerife. I took myself away from my old environment. That really helped me I went to Tenerife for 7 days. I spent €10 while I was there on a nail file.
Okay. And it's important to get out of your daily routine.
Not everyone can. Yeah, you have to rest if you're going to do 7 days or more, for sure.
Because you get fatigued.
Yeah.
Okay. So you did a couple 48-hour ones, and it was really hard. Plus, you're
more than it is. There's been great, absolutely amazing, like 97%, 98% love and respect, and because I'm already like in those realms, you know, already in the healing realm, and we've pushed ourselves out quite far. So that most of that community they understand fasting, and they don't think there's any danger at all. So yeah.
Okay. Could you do Ninja Warrior now, or would you have to work yourself back up into shape, build more muscle, and
rebuilding? I've got to rebuild still. It's
Okay.
only been like just over 3 weeks since I broke my fast.
Okay.
And the work I've done since the fast, that's some of the key work that I think a lot of people don't get because of how much I know my body.
Right.
All the stuff of the last 2-3 years, Kelly Surratt stuff.
Yeah.
He's inspired me so much. I was doing all of that and getting no improvement, spending 4 hours on a lacrosse ball in the gym, feeling great. The next day, back to the same stiffness. I'm like, what's going on here? Is it the candida? Is it the stuff? That stuff since the fast my body has been so much more receptive to all the healing stuff I did before.
Okay.
The urine therapy, which we can get to.
We got to get to it soon, man.
Yeah. Well,
my urine's got to come out.
Since the fasting, that organ has been so much, that production has been more healing than it's ever been, because my body's internally clearer than it's ever been.
Wow. Okay, let's talk about this urine therapy.
Yeah,
and then
segue to that.
Let's do some of our own urine therapy.
Apparently you're going to do it, yeah.
I am going to do this. So Timothy and I are both going to urinate here live on camera, and we're going to drink it. Right? I've never done this before.
I love how casual you are with it, because I know there's people freaking out at home watching this.
And this
is the world, yeah.
As a point of reference, the whole team here at London Real World headquarters freaked out. I actually urinated some and put it in a cup and left it on my desk when I went to train, and they were like, "Is that real? No, it's not real. It must be apple juice." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm drinking my urine with Tim later."
You do me proud, Brian.
And so now we're going to do some fresh stuff.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised by the reaction that it gets from people.
Yeah.
Why are we going to do this?
Yeah.
Tell me. And by the way, my point of reference is Lyoto Machida from the UFC, probably 10 years ago now.
Long time.
Was he's like a Japanese background, grew up in Brazil. His dad, I think, is full Japanese. I think he's half Brazilian, half Japanese.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in their family, they always drank their own urine, and he used to do it on camera for
Anytime they
healing.
get sick, yeah.
And I remember seeing him do it and thinking, that's weird. But I read a little about it, and I had heard it wasn't toxic and it was okay, and that's where it sat in my brain.
Yeah.
Until, of course, I get some Tim in my life. So what is the thinking behind it? And then talk about how you think your urine's changed since the fast.
So, liquid gold, alchemy, fountain of life. One thing I've learned in this world is that if you want to find truth, you have to be open and under the rocks that you think you knew answers to. Yeah, urine's just a waste product, and that things are hidden right under our noses.
Like fasting and drinking your urine.
So the simple stuff. It's always the simple stuff, but we don't want this
Isn't
complicated.
that crazy? Like you said, like we go through drugs and rehab and lacrosse balls and all these things when maybe stop eating for a few days. That's crazy.
Nature's got it figured out, you know. And they call it Shivambu Shastra. Ancient Indian yogis would do it. Some athletes do it after workouts. They say it contains stem cells. People paying thousands of pounds for stem cell treatment, or you could drink your urine. You know, biofeedback. So it's just run around your bloodstream, and then it comes out. It's got feedback of, I need to heal that area because that's out. So there's a places in Japan which use it for healing. This guy's at a centre for 60 years. Some people that can't stomach the taste of their own urine, they can't drink it, they have a pump to their stomach, and they don't get the same healing benefits because there's a gland under our tongue that gets the feedback. So it's like the feedback loop when you consume it. In terms of waste product, our liver filters everything that your body uses from everything it doesn't. And then you have an excretion. The body's so efficient, it doesn't have two waste things. One waste, that's nasty, smells bad. Poop smells bad.
Yeah.
Out the back entrance. Out the front, you know, everything that your body does use goes to the kidney. Now, the kidneys absorb everything that it wants to use, everything that's excess, over too many minerals, then you pee it out. Now, salt is something the body uses, so it makes it to the kidney, but a lot of us eat such a salty diet, or processed or heavily cooked, so when they're peeing, it's an excess of nutrients and it stinks, they're dehydrated as well. It stinks, it's not something they'd ever want to drink. You know, the more you eat what you sow, the more bitter the more intoxic you are, the more harsh the medicine, let's put it that way. But the more pure you are, the more you eat a more whole food, raw diet, there's no smell, tastes completely pleasant.
Okay, so it's biofeedback. If you force yourself to drink your urine every day, then you would probably trend toward a healthier diet, healthier practices, because you're getting that feedback. Like, this doesn't taste right, this doesn't smell right, I got to get back onto my better behavior.
It makes you, it puts you back on track.
Is there any evidence of this in the natural kingdom?
There isn't, which is a very interesting separation for me from nature. There's a bit. It seemed like playful monkeys, but nothing like really. But
I've heard like peeing on yourself when you get like
jellyfish sting.
Jellyfish sting.
Yeah.
I remember hearing that.
It's great great for the hair, great on the skin, really good for like cuts. People do drops in their eyes. I mean, this is the real alchemy. This is the real alchemy. It's like and you have to remove your ego.
Right.
You know, proper remove your ego. It's a real challenge for people to get to this stuff. And like you said, Agent Smith pops up everywhere.
What is Agent Smith? You said this before.
Yeah,
what is
so
that?
in Matrix,
Yeah,
right,
okay.
when they see Neo, Agent Smith can pop up in any person, right?
Okay.
So the programming from our society, from this Matrix, is veganism, Agent Smith pops up, or protein, but we've always ate it. Our brains evolved because we ate meat. Flat Earth, right? You mentioned that. It's not there's like an over emotional attachment to you being incorrect, but it's not their own beliefs based off their own experience. There's just a program running.
It's like the societal programming that pops out when someone sticks their head up too far.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they do it, and it's not really their own personality. It's just like a group think.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So that's what I see as Agent Smith. So when you have drinking urine, that's Agent Smith pops up in people, which isn't their own. They're not there to converse with you and understand. It's just deeply rooted in something that's emotional for them. That's disgusting.
So it's hard to actually have a real conversation.
From the parents saying you're spilling you clean the toilet.
Is it hard to reason with the Agent Smiths because it's a visceral lizard-like reaction?
It is a reptilian brain kicks in.
Right. It's not cerebral. It's not frontal
cerebral.
cortex. You can't reason and think. Well, I guess you can over time.
But to a child, you could explain stuff until they've been indoctrinated and programmed. Right?
Okay.
So, and one of the biggest things I always look to nature and simple solutions. Right. If you drink your urine and you loop it, we call it looping. So you drink the first one in the day, it's the most potent, contains the most information from the night. As your body's been healing, it's like, you drink the first one and it might be a bit darker. Then it gets clearer and clearer each time. If it was toxic, it would get darker and darker, but because your body's using what's in it, it's getting clearer and clearer, and it's recycling the minerals. People do urine fast. That's the next fasting for me, is to do a urine fast.
Really?
And there's a guy, John Armstrong, again, did urine fasting, and this is one of the things in the Bible, Jesus. I really think he was a urine therapist. Yeah. Drink from thine own cisterns, walking on water. He turned water to wine, right? It wasn't red wine, it was white wine. He brought it out. Blood of Christ, the blood of Christ and the body of Christ. We can talk about mushrooms, right? Have you looked into that stuff?
No. Oh, as far as the ties.
People
to...
talk body of Christ as mushrooms in the Bible. So
Okay.
we found what the blood of Christ is as well. And again, mushrooms is something, if you eat magic mushrooms, psychedelics, and you pee, and they say the shamans would pee, and then some of the other people drink the shamans' pee. And
Yeah, I've heard that. Right.
And the Amanita muscaria with the reindeer eat the Amanita, the red and white Mario mushrooms,
Yeah.
and the shamans would collect the pee, because then the toxins in the mushroom, the reindeer has that effect, but from the pee it's clear and they don't get the toxic effect, so they can just drink the reindeer pee and get that effect. So the mushrooms pass through in the urine as well.
Okay.
And so to create a good party, Jesus, and if you read the verse in the Bible, it's very interesting, the wording, but him and the servants go back, and then they come out with the wine and they bring it out at the end of the party. So people are already drunk, suddenly Jesus comes out with this white wine, they're already drunk, can't taste, drinking the mushrooms mixed with the wine.
Okay, that's your
And
interpretation of that.
It's my
Is it
interpretation of
he's
that.
eating mushrooms and giving people the urine that still has mushroom components
And the
in there.
party kicks off at that point, and they're like,
Okay.
wow, you've saved the best wine till last. That's what they say. Most people bring out the best wine first and give the worst last. Like, you've saved the best, because of what magic mushrooms does and how it puts you in that child. My biggest description of this, which we can talk about later.
Yeah, we will get to the psychedelics.
Is a drunk child. Is a
Okay.
drunk child.
Right.
But for now,
Okay. It's time to do this.
It's time to do this.
So you drink your... That's me. It looks like kind of like champagne-ish color.
Hey.
You know, white wine.
white wine, liquid gold.
Okay. All right, only on London Mail.
People will drink Coca-Cola. They'll drink tap water without ever knowing what's in it. There's nothing in that that's not ran around your body already, that you've already consumed
Right.
consciously, you know.
Right.
It's from you, it's for you.
So it's a combination of everything I put in my body intentionally.
Yeah, and it's like, this is too much minerals of this thing. So yeah, and it'd be...
Okay, let's do this, Timothy Shieff. Cheers,
We
bud.
just come out of London Real. Big respect to Brian, man. What a guy, what a journey. I can't believe what that man just drank his own urine with me on live on the internet. He's grown a lot as I've been growing since I last been on there. It's such a healing outlet for me. I have a lot of experiences since I last been on, and for him to give me that platform to get them out there, I'm grateful to him. And now we're just waiting for the Uber. We're going to go over to Vegan Nights, straight into the madness of that. It's like 7:30. The party will just be starting now. Benji's DJing till 9 outside, and then he goes to DJ inside 9 to 11 when it really kicks off. So I'm just taking a moment before the madness, and that's just the start of the weekend, baby. It's Thursday, early weekend.
3 knots. I wish. Ready. Turning sides like I'm in a sea. Wave ride and make boatloads my payer. You can just stay turned, cause the past year's been fast asleep. Oh, you want weekly salary, but the stress alone burn my calories. Stress alone burn my calories. Vibe out on his side, yeah. Prime all of my life, yeah. Gemini and Two-Face, whoa. Gotta read all the signs, yeah. Still off on the same smoke. How